Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 7 of Get Real with Rajiv. I'm loving this process of answering your questions, and I really want to thank those of you who keep sending in questions week after week so that everybody who watches this gets amazing learning out of this entire process. So today I have Aarti, who's behind the camera, who's going to be the voice of your questions, and we're going to answer 4 questions that we've received from this week. So Aarti, the first question, who sent us what question?
Hi Rajiv. So Lokesh Ashok has a question saying how to manage multiple businesses, 2 in his case, when both are at startup stage, and how did you manage 4 businesses at one point of time?
Okay, so Lokesh, I love that question because you've kind of revealed to the world one of my biggest mistakes, and I'm going to tell you that you are also making a big mistake. Now, if I hear that question, what I hear is, Lokesh, you have 2 businesses and both are at the startup stage. Now, one of the indicators that I see that a lot of entrepreneurs get into too many businesses at the same time is not out of a desire to create wealth or multiple income streams, but out of the desperation of wanting income. Most people start a business, it doesn't give them the desired result, then they get distracted and start another business, and they start deceiving themselves into believing that they're being a serial entrepreneur. How do I know that? I did the same thing with myself. I started a business, it did not give me the desired results, I was not making enough money, and in the process what I did is started multiple businesses, and at one point of time, like you rightly mentioned, I had 4 companies which were nothing but like having 4 jobs at the same time, because everything in those businesses were dependent on me. And we as entrepreneurs are amazing at putting ourselves through this deception, thinking we are being serial entrepreneurs, but the reality is we are desperate entrepreneurs who want some kind of income coming in from different sources because one source is not good enough or is not fulfilling our goals and desires. So Lokesh, I want you to check, what is your reason of having 2 businesses both in the startup stage? Because if your reason is desperation and it's not giving you the desired result, therefore you're doing 2 businesses, wrong reason, my friend. You got to focus on one, fix one, build one, and then go on to start multiple other businesses. In all honesty, with where I stand today, I still have 4 businesses. I shut 2 of my businesses down in the year 2012, but I still have 4 businesses today. But here's what I've learned about building multiple businesses. You got to build them one at a time, and you got to build them with focus on team, on system, on strategy, and only when one business is established, then can you set out on the adventure of setting up and scaling up another one. Because at the end of the day, what you don't want to be is a deceptive entrepreneur who on the business card has 2, 3 or 4 logos saying I'm a maverick serial entrepreneur, but in reality your bank statement's empty. So Lokesh, just a warning signal, don't build the 2 businesses at the same time with the wrong intention of trying to make a buck out of both. Focus on one, build one, and then once you've built one, you've built a team, you've built a second line team of leaders who are managing that business, you have systems, and you have a clear strategy for growth, then you can set out on the adventure of creating another one. That's just my personal advice, Lokesh. Aarti, what is the second question that we have?
Next question is from Asha Satyapal. Her question is, how does someone who has never hired before build the dream team, and how can I avoid making mistakes when choosing my first employee?
Well, Asha, be okay with making mistakes. Forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much if you make a mistake of a wrong hire. And I can understand the nervousness and anxiety an entrepreneur goes through when it comes to hiring their first employee. We literally look for God's gift to mankind. It's like looking for an ideal son-in-law. There's none on the planet, Asha. I'm just letting you know that. So be okay with making that mistake. Having said that, here are some things that you got to be clear about before you hire a team member. Firstly, you got to be clear about what is the goal that you want to accomplish as a business by hiring a team member. What is that end result that you want? Based on that end result, to achieve that end result, what are the tasks and activities should this individual do? So you need to make a list of the tasks and activities this individual needs to do, so you know what is their role. Okay, a lot of people make this mistake. They hire people without having clarity of what role they are hiring for. They just get a person along with them who can play a helping hand, and because you don't have role clarity for this person, then every morning you come to work and then you decide what work can you give that person. That is dangerous. Just assigning tasks to people in the morning at the workplace is the worst way of building a team, because then you are just having helpers or peons around you, which is not what you want to do. So the key is, firstly, what goal do I want to accomplish? Then what role does this individual need to play, and to fulfill that role, what are the tasks that that person has to do? So you're giving them a role and a responsibility, and then based on that you got to look at what skills, knowledge and attitude is required in that individual to be able to perform that role successfully. So when you're hiring, you're screening people through those skills, those knowledge, and those attitude elements that they need to possess to be able to fulfill that job role clearly. So these are the 3 things that you can do from your side when you're starting and setting out on this journey of building a team and hiring. And when you have that person on board, the key is to give them a win-win-win environment. I've always said this, it's in my book Lead or Bleed. It's something that I teach in my PACE program, where I keep telling people that the organizations of today need to build a win-win-win workplace, which means the customer has to win, where we have to add massive value to our customers. The team members have to win, which means the financial growth and career growth pathway for our team members has to be defined, and the business owner has to win from the point of view of the aspirations of brand growth and financial growth that you have as an entrepreneur. So if you build your business with that philosophy, then you're building that dream team, because everybody wants a workplace that will take care of their needs, their aspirations, their desires, and if you can provide that, you've built an ideal workplace and people show up as the dream team in that workplace. So I hope that adds value to you, Asha. Aarti, what's the third question we have?
Third question is from Michael Johnson. His question is, how do you know when you're ready to hire a salesperson? I'm still trying to get steady leads that are not only referrals.
Okay, so there are few parameters that you need to check, Michael, before you go into hiring a full-time salesperson. The first parameter you need to check is if you have underutilized or unutilized operational capacity, which means if you're a production business and because of lack of sales, you're not completely utilizing the production capacity, or if you're a services business and there's idle time on the operation side of the business, then you desperately need a salesperson. That's an indicator that you need to be able to get somebody who's going out there pitching your products or services to an end customer so that he can utilize that underutilized or unutilized capacity of your operations. So that's an indicator, Michael, of when you hire a salesperson. The other indicator about when do you hire a salesperson is obviously when you have an aspiration of growth. Some people are happy in their comfort zone. They're okay with going with the flow, okay with sales being reactive, word of mouth happening, leads walking in whenever, wherever, without any control of the business owner. But if you want to take charge, if you want to take control of your business and make sales a predictable activity where you say, per week, this is the amount of customers we want. Per month, this is the kind of revenue we want to touch. If you're becoming target and growth focused, then you definitely need a salesperson. So that would be the second scenario, Michael. And the third scenario would be this. You got to be able to give that salesperson direction of where to find the customers. If you're able to give them the direction, probably initially this person may play the role of proactive selling and going out there and getting those customers. You just can't hire a person and not give them direction about where to find the customers for your business. A lot of entrepreneurs I see make this mistake. They hire a salesperson thinking that the salesperson will be a magician and he'll go find them the customers. Whereas as the business owner, they have not defined who is the right customer. And biggest mistake in business is to believe that everyone is your customer. The person who thinks everyone is their customer, well, nobody is your customer for that simple reason. So Michael, you should be able to give direction to your salesperson, who is the right customer for us and where do we find them, so that that salesperson can put proactive effort in reaching out to those customers and bringing them to your business. And finally, last but not the least, you need a salesperson. You need to answer this question for yourself. If your income is not consistent, that means you need a sales team. So you need someone who's taking consistent action and selling on your behalf. And in most small and medium businesses, the biggest challenge of lack of consistency in sales is because the entrepreneur is busy doing everything. Now, when you are busy doing everything, you cannot put consistent input and effort into your sales activity. And if that is you, Michael, then you desperately need to hire a salesperson and fit them in that job of doing sales in a focused manner, so there's consistent effort going out, as a result of which there will be consistent income coming in. So I've given you all the scenarios to think through, Michael. I hope you find your answers in one of these scenarios. Let's go to the last question, Aarti.
Last question is from Shweta. Her question is, what is the importance of having a clear accounting system in business?
Well, the measure of success of business is money. Now, I know when I make that statement, a lot of people say that money is not everything in life and it's about making a difference to your customers and it's about adding value to society. I want all of you to cut the crap, okay? Because here's the reality. You will not make money if you're not adding value to your customers. You will not make money if you don't enjoy doing what you're doing. So enjoying doing what you're doing, making a difference to your customers, adding value to your customers is a given. So let's rise above those definitions and start measuring money. Because some people don't like to measure money in their business because they're not capable enough to generate that much money. So they kind of hide behind this mask of being spiritual and saying money is not everything in life, therefore for me I don't track my numbers and I don't really care about how much money we make or how much money we lose. Such kind of people are actually pathetic entrepreneurs who are covering up and wearing the mask of entrepreneurs. They're not even entrepreneurs. So while money is critical, accounting system is the way of taking care of that money. And accounting systems have three goals in a sense in any business. The first goal is accuracy. Your accounting system is required because you got to be accurate about the way you're capturing the data of the money you're spending and the money you're earning. So accuracy is the first big goal of accounts. The second big goal of accounts is compliance. If you are not compliant to the statutory laws, to the taxes that your business is liable to pay, then you're going to land yourself in bigger problems. And you don't want to cut corners on these areas because guess what? It's not worth it. You just get rid of whatever accounting or whatever compliance issues you have. Just be compliant. Why do you want to entertain headache in your business? I know a lot of people who look at cutting corners in taxation or keeping proper records or filing their required business taxes on time, and they think they're saving money. No, you're only creating more stress and more headache for yourself. So compliance is very important. That's the second big goal of an accounting system. The third goal of an accounting system, which according to me is the most important yet the most ignored goal by most small and medium entrepreneurs, is insight. Now what do I mean by insight? The job of your accounting system is to give you data so that you can make decisions. If you're not having a system that gives you the data, then you're playing blind every day in business. Then it's not called a business, it's called gambling. I mean, picture this. If you watch the game of cricket, and if a batsman is chasing a score, he needs to see the scorecard. He needs to know what are the runs required per over for him to score in the coming over. So accounts is like that. If you don't have a clear accounting system and you don't have clear data, then as an entrepreneur, you're like that batsman on the field who's chasing a target but is not able to see the required run rate on the scorecard. So that, according to me, is the biggest need of a healthy accounting system. And in business, if you're not connected to your numbers, then you're just going with the flow and you're thinking everything is fine. But only when you do a reality check about your numbers, that's when you know how far you've come and how much more distance you got to travel. So that's why having a healthy accounting system is a must in small and medium businesses. And the biggest mistake I see most entrepreneurs make when it comes to creating an accounting system is they sit and do accounts by themselves. Now, watch. Bookkeeping is a clerical activity. If as an entrepreneur, you're spending 2 hours per week and sitting and working out on your accounts, that is 8 hours a day, that only 8 hours in a month, that only tells me that you don't value your own time. Okay, because you can get freelance accountants and bookkeepers who can come into your office, enter the data in your system, make sure that all your records are compliant, and they will do this. You get freelancers for as low as 4,000 rupees a month. So if you're sitting and doing accounting by yourself, that only tells me that you value your time lesser than 4,000 rupees a month, which is unbelievable. So make sure that accounts is not something that you're sitting and personally doing. You got to review, manage and derive data to make decisions, but it's not something you got to sit and do by yourself. If you're doing that, you got your priorities wrong. You rather spend more time on marketing and sales and make more money rather than sit in accounts and just manage records and books. So that is something as a warning signal for most entrepreneurs who are watching this video. So with that, we come to the end of episode number 7. We've answered 4 questions. So it's time to pick a winner now. So let's pick a winner. Aarti, just indicate from 1, 2, 3, 4, which one do you think is the best question? Don't say it, just indicate the number. Quick. All right. So Aarti says what I wanted to say, which is question number 1. So I think question number 1 was asked by Lokesh, right? Yeah, so Lokesh, you asked the best question for this week according to us. So you're going to get a copy of my book, Lead or Bleed. And those of you who are watching this, ask us more questions so that we can give you more answers. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode, everybody. Stay tuned.